Ni hao. This means hello. How are you? Welcome to an ancient land of wonderful charm and culture. In China, they have a saying for those about to begin a long, long journey. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. Come, take that first step and begin a journey back into 5,000 years of mystery, grandeur, art, excitement, and the oldest continuous culture on earth, China. Splendid China, the unforgettable journey. China's history as a unified nation began about 220 BC, when the armies of the small kingdom of Qin crushed rival states. With horses, lances, bows, and bronze and iron weapons, they established the Qin Empire, and their leader, Qin Shuang, made himself the emperor. In effect, Qin Shuang was the first emperor of China. He called for the construction of a great wall to repel nomadic invaders from the north. Sections of older walls were connected to form a barrier that stretched over 4,000 miles long, the largest engineering and building project in human history. Men gave their entire lives to work on the Great Wall. Now, 2,200 years later, the wall, the armies, and the workers have been recreated in meticulously detailed miniature. The Great Wall is just one of more than 60 full-scale and miniature exhibits at the Splendid China theme park in Orlando, Florida. The wall was built like the original, brick by brick. More than 6.5 million handmade bricks the size of dominoes were patiently mortared into place along the half-mile wall. 120 dedicated Chinese artisans worked 2 years to create Splendid China's extraordinary exhibits. Each ceramic figurine was individually sculpted and painted by hand. Each is different, with features representing those of various Chinese cultural groups, with expressions and postures fitted to the role each will play. Splendid China has 35,000 of these figurines on display. All structures are exact replicas, made of the same materials used in the originals. Each shingle is separate, each stone and brick. In all, more than 12 million pounds of materials were shipped from China to Florida. What you see on your visit to Splendid China is nothing less than all the landmark sites in the history and culture of the second largest nation on earth, larger than the U.S., with 1/5 of the world's population, and a writing system that dates back 4,000 years. Guided tours are available, or you can explore on your own. Splendid China is the only cultural theme park in the Orlando, Florida area. It's a serene, authentic experience, different from any other. It fills your senses with exotic scenes, tastes, and scents. On your tour of Splendid China, you also enjoy incredibly talented Chinese performers, dancers, musicians, acrobats, and others. All can be seen at Splendid China's Temple of Light and Golden Peacock Theater. So let the journey begin. A journey of 10,000 miles through 5,000 years of Chinese history and culture. The Buddha statue in Yungang Grotto was built around 500 AD. If the Great Wall is directed outward against invaders, the Buddha at Yungang is directed inward, seeking enlightenment within the person. In terms of Chinese philosophy, they are yin and yang. Most statues of the Buddha show him seated in the lotus position for meditation. But in this replica of the remarkable stone carvings at Dachu, you can see him lying down. Note, though, that he's only half asleep. The eyelids are still parted slightly in calm awareness. These are the beautiful sculptures in Longmen Grotto, 100,000 disciples in stone. Some fearsome, some peaceful, surround the statue of Lasana. The massive Lashan Buddha sits enthroned, upright, not in the lotus position, where 3 thunderous rivers unite in the Sichuan province of China. The monk who dreamed up this 236-foot statue located it there in the hope it would save boatmen from drowning. The reproduction at Splendid China towers 4 stories high. The 1,000 eyes and 1,000 hands Guanyin statue looks down kindly on all of Splendid China. It represents the Bodhisattva, the enlightened one who chooses to stay in this illusory and painful world to help others, rather than entering nirvana. The eyes watch over the hordes to be helped. The hands reach out to give aid. If the spirit of China is visible in these ancient statues, then surely it is alive in Chinese dance, another part of the cultural heritage you experience and enjoy on your travels in Splendid China. Ancient dance, youthful performance. That seamless continuity is seen also in the Jin Ancestral Temple, built 1,500 years ago, then renovated often in the centuries since. The ancient cross-shaped bridge is the only one of its kind preserved in China today. At the magnificent Temple of Heaven, completed in 1530, emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties would offer sacrifices on the winter solstice and pray for rain and a good harvest throughout the land. The Chinese envisioned the sky as round and the earth as square, so the temple and courtyard were designed in these shapes. Halfway to heaven, the mid-air temple has clung to a cliff through storms, earthquakes, and centuries of erosion. It consists of 40 spidery structures, now 15 centuries old. Inside are statues of the founders of the Sanjiao, or 3 doctrines: Buddhism, Confucianism, and Taoism. In this miniature, you see how the temple seems to float on the air, defying gravity like a Chinese acrobat. Acrobats and jugglers from China are the world's finest. They perform as naturally as breezes that play through the willows and across the waters. As much as palaces and temples, they're part of Splendid China.